It's coming out October 1st. Not the giant UCS set, but the choices that I put on that poll were fun because I had forgotten that not only was the gingerbread AT-AT going to be released, but there is a Big Fig Santa also being released. They're about the same price. I think it's a $5 difference or so. $55 for the Big Fig Santa, and then $59 or maybe 60 even with if you just add 1 cent, so $60 even for the gingerbread AT-AT. So if you had a choice, which one would you get? And I was kind of curious, probably thinking the majority would go with Star Wars. And it's almost unanimous. Yes, the set that people chose would be that would be fun too. The people said they'd vote for, I think you got about 20 votes, maybe more than that. Actually, I should look. I think the overall choice, 90% of the vote went to the gingerbread AT-AT. Is there any surprise? Probably not. But I thought it was fun to just see what everyone thought on the Break Therapy 2-3 channel post. I said during the live stream a couple days ago, we talked about some of the smaller but fun sets around the same price range. If you only had one to buy, which one would you choose below for October 1st release day? Santa Big Fig, gingerbread AT-AT. And I threw in there, maybe a few would be like, I'm not waiting for October 1st. I'm getting the Octan Man Big Fig, also about $55. And 2% voted for Octan Man, 8% for Santa Big Fig, 90% for gingerbread AT-AT. That's 50 votes, so that's a good amount of people. So there you go. That's kind of fun to see what people thought. All right, welcome everyone. Meta is here. Goku, Carino. Que bien. Meta says Star Wars or Star AT-AT. Yeah, so you would go for that as well, huh, Meta? And Punisher Bricks. Good to see you guys. Always good to see familiar names. Welcome. So if you've been part of the last few live streams, I think this is part 4 of the Millennium Falcon build here. 75375. And almost just short of 1,000 pieces, 921 pieces. Got this set on Amazon because, well, it's on sale or discounted for about $67 compared to the $90 price tag on lego.com. So whether you have insider points on lego.com or some other reason, definitely just buy it through another retailer. So this is what I have built up so far. And the thing that really impresses me about this set, it's just a solid build. It's a solid build. It could be a very fast but very detailed build. If you can see the top panel here, got the cross section of the ship. And I brought, just for a comparison and scale, the White Falcon here. Someone pointed out yesterday, I don't know why that never crossed my mind. I'm sure it was obvious, and it's kind of like one of those things staring you in the face and you just don't notice, is that the White Falcon here, which this is what actually made me even get a Star Wars set when I got back into Star Wars. So this was probably 2018 when I got this set. Is, of course, it has the same color scheme as an R2-D2, right? With the white, shiny white paneling and the blue trim. So there you go. So yeah, the White Falcon. I love these Millennium Falcon sets, and if you are limited in funds, it's still $67 is definitely not a little bit of money. But if you're not in the market to buy something really expensive, these are great. These mid-size scale ships are great. I can't endorse them enough. They're fun builds. They're easy to display. They don't take up a lot of room. You get the ship build. You get the satisfaction of building a Star Wars ship, adding to your Star Wars set, and you do miss the minifigures, but then again, you guys in the Brick Therapy 2-3 community point out, you can always get microfighters and get a minifigure once now and once again, and not have to spend crazy amounts of money to build up your Star Wars collection. So all that to be put out there, and just yeah, just something to consider if you want to get into Star Wars. So all right, 26 watching, that's awesome. Once again, just to make sure, if you're a Lego Star Wars fan especially, this is what I'm building, the mid-size Midi Falcon. The goal is to build up momentum, and hopefully, and it won't take me that long, but hopefully come November, there'll be some discounted prices for the UCS set. And so that's the plan, is to get the Star Wars UCS Millennium Falcon set. Totally going out with the idea of, you know, buying smaller sets to not spend a lot of money, but we'll see. I don't own a UCS set, and you can see the Lego collection behind me here. Here's all our Star Wars collection, really. We're not, you know, we are not the Lego YouTubers that have an entire room or house of Lego, but this is not all our collection. Have some collection in storage as well. And then, of course, the biggest sets we have here, I think, even if I consider, like, I have Ninjago City and the Daily Bugle, but I think Barador and Rivendell are the biggest Lego sets. Now, getting back into Star Wars, really wanted to build this set, so here we go. Welcome! I see several of you here now. Meta again, Goku Karinyu. Glitchfire is here. Awesome. Glitchfire says, I got a job. It's cool. Psh, well done, Glitchfire. Build the Rest is here. Welcome to Yusi. Is that Yushi or UZ? Welcome. Marcia, welcome. Let's see. Finn, I'm partial to all the older Marvel sets, Finn says. I agree, Finn, those are fun sets. When I said getting back into Lego 2018, that was probably the peak, you know, when all the Marvel movies were out, just before the Endgame movie. So yeah, we have some Marvel sets as well. I gotta bring one of those up. Probably one of my favorite of the Marvel sets is actually a Spider-Man bridge, or maybe the earlier Milano, the play-size scale ship. But yeah, Marvel sets are great too. Mario, I'm building Lego Mario, or I'm talking about Lego, but I'm going to start building this mid-size scale Millennium Falcon. And just for reference, compared to, you can probably tell that way, this is the White Falcon. Most of the Millennium Falcons that have been released have been about this size, and so this is the mid-size scale. And then, you know, leading up to maybe comparing it to a UCS size at some point. Star Wars is goated. Awesome. Psh, there we go, Star Wars fans. Mario says, yeah, what are you building? Time with Max. Welcome back. Time with Max. Psh. Son is at youth group tonight, so he's busy now. He's got soccer practice. He's got, obviously, school, and just time out with friends and youth groups. So hopefully get him here on the weekends. So I know he's the star of the show. I guess we could show off one more build, our Brick Therapy 2-3 Sig Figs. So there he is. There's Little Brick Therapy right there in Lego form. So yeah, thanks for asking. And obviously having him here would be great, because he is a super fast builder. But it's just fun to interact with you guys. So thanks for joining. Leave a like if you're just here for a little bit, and hopefully some of you will stay for the live stream as I finish, or no, getting closer. I'm on bag 8 of 11. So here we go. Bag 8 of 11 of the Midi size scale Millennium Falcon ship. And you'll notice, I don't know if you guys have encountered these as well. I talked about it just recently on a couple other live streams. We're at the paper bag stage of Lego life now. I don't know if you've gotten any new sets lately. Let's see, Rivendell and Bardur, those are pretty new. The Star Destroyer over here was pretty new. No paper bags there. Lego had been threatening to give us paper bags or to start putting them in all the sets, and maybe we've reached that point. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily have an opinion of the packaging, but I do like the plastic bags better. And I don't know if these are any, to be honest, environmentally friendly. They got like almost like a plastic liner on the inside. It might be like wax paper almost. This is kind of cool. So you guys can tell. Whoops, specialized piece there. I'll get that in a second. It's Lego, right? Boom. You drop something. Where is it? There it is. It's Lego. Action. How can you drop? This is one piece I can't just leave on the floor. I gotta have that for the build, the cockpit, right? I only got one paper bag before. Yeah, I think for all the sets we've had in our collection, I've only come across one so far, and that was a set we actually got overseas. So I was thinking maybe in Europe, maybe, kind of closer to Lego headquarters. That's where you'd find these, but that was over a year ago. So, well, they made their way over here, at least with, I don't know what series of sets. That will be interesting. I guess all the new, any of the 2025 sets, I guess will probably be that way. You guys could confirm or not. So let's see. Glitchfire says they gave me a note in the Optimus Prime set about paper bags. Oh, interesting, Glitchfire. So there's like a warning. There's a warning that they are going to put the paper bags in the sets. That's kind of funny. I wonder why. I mean, because it's been pretty well publicized, but yeah. Interesting about the packaging. Lego, it is. Turkiye says they should make a new Bumblebee Lego. Already? Interesting, Turkiye. Well, what about the Soundwave set? Anybody have the Soundwave set? And where is the Bumblebee Lego set? The Bumblebee Lego set, you mean ours? Those I should bring out. But it's funny, you guys, most people are excited about Star Wars. So I'm going to build Star Wars, but it's funny, now we're talking about the Transformer sets. But yeah, I've built both the Optimus Prime and the Bumblebee set. And oops, I opened bag 8. Gotta go backwards order here. So let me go backtrack a little here, and I should be building up bag 7. All right, here we go. Got ahead of myself. That's okay. Bag 7. Like I said before, though, this is a pretty fast, or it can be a fast build. And for me, obviously taking time on these live streams, I try to build up 2 bags each live stream. But I like that, this is it. This is like right here. This is just all bag 7, all these pieces. So it kind of, I don't know, you just feel like you're making a lot of quick progress. But at the same time, the build experience is a lot of fun because, after all, you are building up a Star Wars ship, the Millennium Falcon. So that's kind of fun. You're building up I think one of the most popular of all Lego sets, that being the Millennium Falcon. They should make a new Bumblebee Lego. I wonder why you think that, Turkiye. I'm saving up for the Arctic Boat Lego. Glitchfire says, oh, I would show you. Oh, yeah, no worries, Glitchfire. I will. That's right. Did I tell you to remind me? I'll have to put on our community post and say, don't forget, next live stream, bring the Bumblebee Lego. So specifically Bumblebee, huh? I did talk about that set being kind of frustrating. It's supposed to be a Transformer, but when it's Lego Transformer, at least for me, in my experience, I don't know if any of you guys own that set, it does fall apart a little bit when you transform it from robot to car or vice versa. So I don't know. I think I'm making a stand here, by the way. This does not seem to be. The cool part is, yeah, this looks like the stand. The cool part about this whole Millennium Falcon set is it's been out for a while. I haven't looked at any reviews of it, and so the build is just a fun kind of surprise as you put each bag together. Like, I'm not really knowing what to expect. Kind of, I think, kind of the best way to build Lego. You know, you want to be into the build and be pleasantly surprised as to what comes next versus like, oh yeah, okay, bag 7, this is what I'm gonna end up doing. So I don't know about you guys, but I like to kind of keep the build a mystery, and that turns out to be one of the best experiences, especially when you're getting into like this castle set here. Just finished that on a live stream, or then when you get to the monolith size, humongous Lego builds like Bardor on Rivendell. So yeah, Glitch Fire, not to worry. Bumblebee will make an appearance soon. Let's see here. Build the Rest says, all right, off he goes again. See you later, Build the Rest. Thanks for joining. Leave a like before you head out. If you like Lego, please be sure to like and subscribe. Join the Brick Therapy 2-3 community. Here's the guy right here. He's probably down here in the corner somewhere. If you like Lego, join our community, and eventually you might see, probably, at least for us, one of the most exciting builds to take place, putting together a UCS. But for now, this mid-size or mid-scale size Millennium Falcon is pretty fun. I think, like I said, you don't have to go all crazy with your budget to start collecting Star Wars Lego sets. These mid-scale size ships are great. Here's another one right here, the Acclimator. Let's kind of keep that in the shot. What Lego are you building? So, Turkey, I think you can probably tell the Star Wars Midi scale size Millennium Falcon. Looks pretty cool. I like, yesterday I put the two, the mandible pieces, or the two triangular side pieces, the front of the ship, and just the detail. So there's the bottom part, but the detail on the top, you don't need to have a giant Lego build to make this look, to me, very Star Wars looking, right? Yeah, Turkey, I would agree. It's worth getting. And like I said, if you bargain shop, actually, you don't have to try really hard. If you go to, I think, all the retailers, at least in the US, I don't know outside the US, but all the retailers have marked this down about $15 or more compared to the Lego.com site. So it's a decent discount, maybe even more than that. So Turkey says, I'm saving up for the Arctic boat. The Arctic boat is pretty sweet. Any of those Lego City themed, like just regular Lego City theme sets are great. Liam, the Star Wars fan, is here. Psh, how's it going? Liam, the Star Wars fan. So, Star Wars fans, here we go. We got Millennium Falcon. We've got an Acclimator size ship. I'm going to put Captain Rex over here. And he's got the same color scheme as the Millennium Falcon, so why not? So I was saying earlier at the start of the live stream, if there was only the possibility of getting a new October 1st released set, what would it be? The choices were the Gingerbread AT-AT, or, to me, just as interesting and fun a build, Christmas themed build, but only strictly Christmas themed, well, I guess both, is the Santa Big Fig. So I didn't realize, or I had forgotten, they're building up a Santa Big Fig set, which is kind of fun. So, in the lines of the regular Lego guy, the Big Fig guy, or the Octan Man Big Fig, I think those are fun builds. Those are worth collecting as well. Again, reasonably priced Lego sets. Why not have a giant Lego Big Fig in your collection? I think that is definitely a fun addition. You know, you can have that on display on a bookshelf, kind of as a you know, a welcoming set right there in the corner in the front of the room. And it's a good addition to just whatever Lego theme you're building. It's a fun addition to have one of those. However, obviously the popular set of the day is always Star Wars, and so I put a poll on our YouTube channel. If you want to join our YouTube channel, leave your vote. But the majority, like 90 to 10, 90% of the vote to 10 was for the gingerbread AT-AT. And I got to admit, when I saw that, I don't remember who mentioned it first. It was someone in our Brick Therapy 2-3 community said, are you going to plan to get this day one? And then I looked up the gingerbread AT-AT. It comes with a Darth Vader, you know, gingerbread Darth Vader as well. And yeah, that is definitely going to be added to our collection day one. That will probably have to be, as some of you know, you avid Lego collectors, that will probably have to be a set that you buy quite quickly. Like right at the stroke of midnight, you got to get on to lego.com and order that set. I'm pretty sure that thing's going to sell out fast. Now, both those sets come out October 1st, and what comes out October 1st also is the UCS Death Star. So that will be quite an interesting day of, you know, watching Lego sales as they take place, or maybe even the day after. Like, what are people gonna get, and if that Death Star is gonna sell out, or not sell out, but make some record sales, because they are adding to it a gift with purchase. But also the gift with purchase has not been that exciting. None of that, not much of that set has actually had much positivity to it. So we'll see what happens. Just kind of curious. Maybe you Star Wars fans can say otherwise. All right, Turkey, good to have you here. Stormy Cube, let's go. Welcome. Welcome, you guys. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you like talking Lego and you like joining the chat and sharing your Lego related news or sets that you have, or any type of collection or any type of collector sets you have or themes you prefer the most, please join and add to the conversation. I'm just looking here. What is out now and what would be fun to talk about? Interesting. I wonder, they have the they have the Willy Wonka set Chocolate Factory coming out in a couple days. Actually tomorrow. So the Willy Wonka set is coming out. 9 minifigures, $220. Another one of those sets, you know, that may interest people who are into certain movies and nostalgia. Oh, Turkey is back. I thought you were gonna head out. Well, I won't leave. Very cool. Oh, here we go. This is it. Let me this is for you. Matt is alive. I gotta say this properly. Gotta make sure I'm well hydrated for this one. Matt is alive, has arrived, digging the dive, striving to survive, drive to thrive, high five, subscribed, and like the live. Welcome. Matt is alive. Psh! Matt is alive. Did you take part in our poll? Before any of you guys sign out, at least tell me in the chat, are you going to get that gingerbread set? Are you going to get the gingerbread Star Wars set? Or are you going to get any new themed set? October 1st is a pretty giant release day for Lego. You know, that's when the UCS Death Star comes out. But not all of us are prepared to drop $1,000 on a Lego set. Probably not many of us, to be honest. So what does that mean? Are you going to get anything? And so I think the gingerbread AT-AT is the way to go. And, you know, to be honest, it's having a minifigure as part of that set is pretty fun, I will say. So they're going to have a Darth Vader minifig as part of the Gingerbread AT set. And so if you're looking to add to your collection of Star Wars, if Lego is a fun hobby to you, no doubt you're gonna get that set, or at least seriously consider. Otherwise, you're gonna probably have to wait, because I'm pretty sure that set is gonna be gone in no time. That's gonna go to back order status quite quickly. So I guess the advantage I have being on the West Coast is I can get on the lego.com site at 9 p.m. instead of midnight and buy that set a little bit earlier in the evening. However, we'll see. You know, competition will be fierce. I'm sure it won't faze any serious Star Wars fans to probably get that set, and they don't mind staying up late to acquire it. So that'll be fun. And then I might watch, some people live stream while they're on the lego.com website and share their shopping experience in real time. So there's some serious Lego YouTubers out there, going on the live stream and shopping and sharing in the experience. I might try to do that at some point. Maybe that will be on in November when there's Black Friday that rolls around, and try to do a live stream. Try to get it all fancy with the screen here and show the Lego website, in the corner somewhere, or me in the corner, vice versa, picture in picture, and show the purchase of hopefully the UCS set with, and there's a lot of contingencies that have to go with that. One major thing being that there'll be a gift with purchase to get with it, and some special offer of double insider points. On top of that, you might have some other incentives, like maybe the set itself will actually be on sale for a little bit of a discount, plus using the insider points I already have. And then hopefully getting the Rakuten deal as well, of cash back for buying through them and buying on Lego. The two web pages kind of link together so that you can pull that off. So that'll be exciting. We'll see what happens. That'd be a fun live stream. Get little brick therapy involved in that one, and share with you guys in the experience. It's kind of fun to live vicariously through what other YouTubers do, especially when they go shopping for Lego sets, and then maybe see what other people do. I wonder if there'll be any other special incentives, like trying to get more people to buy the Death Star set also between November and Christmas Day. So it's kind of I don't know, the stand's looking cool. I'm trying to figure out what the orientation will be for this. It's weird that bag 7 is when you build the stand for the ship, and not like the last part of the build. But I guess that would take away from completing the ship itself, and then you have everything together and then putting it on the stand. But this is quite interesting. Quite a lot of pieces dedicated to the stand. Now I wonder what else they could do if you didn't have to build this platform for the ship, this stand for the ship. Maybe then they could include a minifigure instead. The Lego stand this platform looks cool, but honestly, having a minifigure instead would be even more fun. And that would add to the idea of, you don't have to go crazy with buying or spending too much on Lego. You can just buy these mid-scale size sets, get a cool ship, and get a cool minifigure, right? It's kind of a fun commercial plug right there in some way. Turkiye is heading out this time. Turkiye, thank you again. Lieutenant Shorty's here. Welcome. Potato here says, do you build Harry Potter Legos? Every once in a while. We've built a couple, one on live stream. The last one was, oh, it wasn't one of the kind of the outer building sets. I'm trying to think, Potato. I think Potato Muncher. I think. Well, I do have the. Oh, I can't think of the name. Let me look it up. I have one waiting. The ship that came out last fall. Let me see if I can look up the name. It escapes me right now. What is that one? I love that set. I haven't built it up yet though. What is that one called? It is... Oh my goodness, come on, Lego? I thought it would come up first. But yeah, it's kind of like a... It almost looks like a 15th century sailing ship. Very fun. Oh, there it is. The Tri-Wizard. The Tri-Wizard set. That's one I have that I would like to build up. I have it in the box still. Wow, that one is sold out right now. The Tri-Wizard. I guess because of all those cool gift with purchases that were out a week or so ago for the new Harry Potter release. So yeah, that is one I want to build up. The Tri-Wizard. Lieutenant Shorty is out. Lieutenant Shorty, thank you for being part of the live stream. Please join us again when we build a new set, or tomorrow when we finish, hopefully tomorrow, finishing this mid-scale size Millennium Falcon. But building up the stand here and just thinking about what would be next in the lineup for live streams here. Since this Millennium Falcon, I think I'll probably finish for sure by Friday, because I'm going through two bags per live stream, and this is, I'm already at bag, well, almost done with bag 7. I'm at bag 8, and there's 11 bags total. So in any case, the other thought is I could continue with Star Wars, and the Tri-Wizard that came up. One of you asked about that. Do you build Harry Potter, Potato Butcher? So maybe a Harry Potter set next, or whoops, what did I do wrong here? How can I mess this part up? Anyway, maybe I'll stick with Star Wars. So just kind of thinking through this a little bit. How did I go one scale piece to... That's weird. Anyway, got a minor piece. I don't know if it'll matter. I'll just do this. Probably, I don't know if it'll matter, but I don't have one piece exactly in the right spot for some reason. But it's just part of the platform. So at some point, oh, they want me to put the Midi, the ship already on the stand. Interesting. So this, so the stand faces like this, and then the ship itself. Now that would be cool if the UCS set. The ship itself rests on this part right here. Huh. There it is. Okay, so there you go. Now it's on the stand. Although, I don't know if I'd finish building it this way. And does it counterweight? Does it counterbalance? So that it doesn't... It kind of goes at an angle there. I don't know. I'm going to take it off the stand for now and keep building the ship, though. Interesting. I think there needs to be some correction to the platform here, though, because it's not flush. Let me see what my son did. He did a good job on this. How come mine's not right? Although maybe I'm facing something. Oh, I'm facing one part. I can tell from there. Go figure. I'm facing one part, or the top part, the wrong way. Oops. Let me do this. Correct that. There we go. All right, so the stand facing the right. Oh, so this thing can angle, I guess, a little bit. Interesting. I don't know if that's exciting for the build, but there you go. So yeah, 17 likes. Thank you, everyone. Cole says, what's up? I went to the Lego store today. Cole, very cool. Maybe not as exciting, right? Because it's a day ahead of some release days. Although, did you see, was the Black Pearl on display? There's so much coming out, right, in these next couple weeks. Actually, starting last Friday with Captain Jack Sparrow pirate ship, or the Black Pearl. I'm sure that was on display, but then they're then it's going to the sets that are coming out tomorrow. The Willy Wonka set's coming out tomorrow. I don't know if that's exciting. Almost seems like that one could be exciting, but it's kind of placed there in the middle of everything else. I guess it gets its own special release day. But to me, it's almost like when they released the Deku Tree, the Zelda set. That one came out, but quickly outshined by other sets that came out later on that month. So the Willy Wonka set's coming out, but then if you go to what's coming out new, October 1st sets are coming out. The Hogsmeade Village is already out, and that was the one that I guess you could have gotten a couple of gift purchases with. Kind of held off on buying anything from Lego.com lately. Of course, Captain Jack Sparrow set's going to be out for a while. That one's a back order already, though. So they've got the Game Boy set coming out for, again, like a gamer person, vintage gamer collector, Lego fan. So the Game Boy set, that one looks cool. They actually have a screen on there that actually makes it look like it is, you have the actual console. So that one's coming out October 1st as well. And then you have Arkham Asylum that just came out. Again, back ordered. You have the Wally and Eve set, also back ordered. And, what are you going to do? The Emerald City wall art. Okay, there's no shortage of Lego fans buying stuff. So I guess if by this measurement, just looking at the Lego.com site and all the sets that are already like on delay, they're not they're not available now. You got to wait a couple months to actually get the set if you ordered it. Maybe that UCS Death Star maybe they'll sell pretty quickly. That, that just, the hard part with that kind of set is it's $1,000. And so if that set goes quickly, if a lot of people go out and buy that set, despite all the, critique of it and kind of lackluster impressions, or people weren't too excited about once they actually saw what the set was going to be. If that thing sells out, it's more of the price threshold that makes me wonder, what are people how's that going to impact Lego pricing? Because if people are willing to just go all in on buying more and more of these Lego sets at the new price levels, and so they're going to, it's going to be normalized that Lego can now make sets that are just $1,000. Although that is UCS sets, so those aren't always the those aren't like taking up all the shelf space, but they release enough of those so they're in constant rotation. But will that encourage more of these outrageously sized sets, not necessarily UCS sets, and $1,000 price range will be, acceptable, and people will keep spending money on Lego, and a four-digit price range is okay. I don't know, that to me, I guess I guess when the UCS Millennium Falcon came out, that was already at the $800 range. So I don't know how shocking that was. Maybe because it wasn't at $1,000 that it was. I mean, obviously, I'm talking about getting it, so it doesn't seem as extreme. But when I think about like the other sets that have come out, the large scale, UCS type sets, the Eiffel Tower, the Venator, the other UCS Star Wars ship, the Venator, or oh gosh, what are some other ones that came out that were on these larger scale sets? But anyways, in that kind of $600 price range, that alone, is, you see those on the shelves, you're like, man, those are expensive. Like even in the Rivendell and Bar Door, over close to the $500 range, you're like, you gotta plan to get those over the course of months. And I remember when Bar Door came out last summer, and that came with a really good gift with purchase, that Fail Beast. But I couldn't afford to get that at the time. I had to wait and save up for it, and actually save up a lot of insider points or gift card money and all that to not have to spend the actual retail price. So that already is at the $500 range, and then it's exceptional that anyone's gonna get a Titanic or a Venator right away, and those sets have been out for quite a while. And to me, just seeing those sets out there on the shelves, it's like, yeah, those are premium sets. Not anyone can just get those. But I think when the Titanic was released, I think it was pretty popular, and a lot of people did buy it on release day. So now, if that same thing with the UCS Death Star being released October 1st, and people line up to buy it, and it just it just has the effect of, like, it can also, I guess, go on back order and almost sell out on day one or the first weekend. Then I guess that shows or indicates how many people are out there. It's not little kids that are able to buy Lego. So anyway, yeah, just thinking about that over a few different scenarios. What will that mean? Rye the Goat, hello. Psh. Rye the Goat says, I'm broke because of Lego shopping. I hear you, man, and just wait. I was just talking about what can this lead to if these sets get more and more expensive and people keep buying them. Like, what's it gonna mean for the rest of us? I guess it becomes a privileged, high-end type of toy or collector item. You can't keep up with all that's being released. I know at some point, like anything, right? It's got a plateau. So Lego is probably, I think over the last maybe 7 years or so, when we got back into Lego around 2018, it's been like, full speed ahead, climb for the top. Lots of people buying it, but if it reaches $1,000 ranges, are the sales gonna, keep going like this, or are they gonna level off? I don't know. Lego's its own special economy, though. Maybe it'll just keep going up. Glitchfire says, I'm going to post a picture of my Optimus Prime in the community. Very cool, Glitchfire. Glitchfire, you are all about the Lego Transformers. So very cool. Oh, we're at 19 likes. Thanks, guys. Let's see if we can get to 20 likes before I finish bag 8 here. But yeah, Cole, didn't you say you went to the Lego store today? Did you see anything? I didn't know if you posted anything. You went to the Lego store but haven't shared anything. Rye says, I'm broke because of Lego shopping. Rye, did you go to the Lego store? Did any of you get that? The Black Pearl. Now that is a set I've mentioned a couple times that I would like to have that set and build that up and put it next to the Bar Door, just because the two sets I think would look on display, not because of any consistent theme or thought that way, but just on display, how fun both those sets would look next to each other. Bar Door and the Black Pearl, Captain Jack Sparrow versus Sauron. some kind of fun scenario like that. Hey, Lego Timmy, psh, welcome, Lego Timmy. Lego Timmy, I'm gonna throw this out there because I know you are pretty busy. What do you think the precedent will be if the UCS Death Star does really well on release day, like October 1st or those first few days of October, and people buy that up so much so that the GWP, the giftable purchase, is sold out, and the UCS set goes on back order. Like that's already happened with the Black Pearl or the Captain Jack Sparrow set. Is this gonna pave the way for more and more $1,000 sets that people are just going to be okay with that kind of price threshold? That that just kind of makes me cautious, because the UCS sets usually those are special, and you can't just go buy those on a regular basis, right? Those sit on the shelves for a while, and people off and on will come and get those. I've seen every once in a while someone buy a Titanic set at the Lego store. I don't think I've ever seen anyone buy any other UCS set in person. Maybe they order it. Probably a lot of people just order it and have it delivered. But if that becomes the norm, $1,000 sets, that's going to be crazy. Ricky Bricks just gave you 20 likes. Psh, let's go, Ricky. And now we're at 22. Thank you so much, guys. Lego Timmy says, if people buy that set, the prices will continue to go up. If people keep buying, Lego will keep rising. Yeah, I guess we're in store for bigger sets. Maybe that will lead to what we had imagined, an actual Death Star sphere of a UCS set at some point. And then, who's to say what you're going to spend $1,000 on a set? What is the big deal if a $2,000 set comes out next? So, gosh, that's crazy. I mean, if you're a Lego collector, you add up all the sets that you have in your collection. Obviously, that's quite a lot of money already. I get that. So, I guess it's not, that part is you can look at it that way. But man, if that becomes a norm, $1,000 price sets, hello. I mean, you guys better hold tight to your wallets, or what's left of it, or I guess most of us, like me, will collect Lego sparingly, to be honest, very sparingly. Or like I said, if they keep coming out with these mid-size scale sets, then I'll be satisfied with those. Okay, that was interesting. So I added a circular corner section here. Again, this paneling looks great. These are great, these mid-scale size sets. I don't know what else to say. Glitchfire says, got to work at 5 a.m. Glitchfire, the working man. Psh, thank you, Glitchfire, for joining and being part of the live stream. Remind me in your post to bring up the Bumblebee Transformer Lego set. Hey, you're Faye Madeline. Hello. Psh, very cool. Lego Timmy says, I think off-brand Lego is on the rise. That's true too. I know some of you guys have brought up different brand names. I can't think of any names offhand, but I've seen quite a few alternative brand names be advertised on Amazon. I've seen pretty well-known Lego YouTubers also build alternative brick build sets. So yeah, that's true. I think a lot of those end up being kind of like in the modular type of builds. So if you like building modular sets, but when it comes to specific theme sets, you're gonna have to stick with Lego. Star Wars being one of them, or Marvel. One of my favorite themes is Ninjago, so I'll definitely stick with Lego. The minifigures, I don't, just because of how long this type of style minifigure has been around, right? The usual minifigure that can obviously be accessorized. I know they have mini dolls out there with some of these alternative builds. Their faces, everything just looks wonky compared to Lego. You can't beat the Lego design. But yeah, in terms of spending money on Lego, people might go to the off-brand or maybe do both. Glitch Fire, he says, okay, so he'll post a reminder. Hey, Melody Bell. Yes, working on something new. Working on what I would say is probably one of the best builds for Star Wars that I've experienced, and that is a mid-size scale. Here's a play scale size. This is a mid-scale size Millennium Falcon. So I was saying these mid-scale size ships are the way to go if you want to collect Lego Star Wars and not break the bank. And also, these sets actually go on sale. The big UCS sets don't. These do. And this one on Amazon is about $20 less than the Lego retail price. So yeah, it's been a fun build. Beck loves Star Wars builds. I can't blame him. I was talking about, you guys have to check out, especially, we were talking about this early, Melody, to look October 1st. If you're into Star Wars, but you're also into kind of Christmas and silly looking Star Wars sets, Lego is releasing October 1st a gingerbread themed AT-AT Walker or tank or whatever you want to describe it as, attack vehicle, and a gingerbread Darth Vader. And again, a set and price that's not going to break the bank. I think it's going to go for $60. You know, not hundreds of dollars. It's not going to be a giant build, but let's see. I think it's, you know, it's decent size, but that's October 1st. So I was talking about what fun sets to get come October 1st, and you can't go wrong with the gingerbread AT-AT. So that, and then of course if you just like Christmas itself, there's the Santa Big Fig that's coming out. But yeah, $59.99 gingerbread AT-AT Walker, gingerbread Darth Vader, 697 pieces, set 40806. That is gonna be fun. That comes out October 1st. I'm thinking I'm gonna jump on that set come midnight and get it. Very cool on the list. There you go, Melody Bell. Exactly. Brick Empire. Welcome back first, but I'll probably wait until then. I went to the Lego store August 1st to get the castle set over here. This one. But October is when that UCS Death Star comes out. I would love to see that on display, but that's the controversial set. The $1,000 price range has been reached. Are you gonna buy a $1,000 Lego set? And we'll see what happens. That thing might be pretty popular, and there might be a lot of people that purchase it. So quite a lot of Lego developments to pay attention to, basically. Brick Empire says, I kind of took a break from YouTube. If you were knowing why I was gone for a long. Yeah, Brick Empire, I hadn't seen you in a while, man. So now braces that. You need some brick therapy in your life just to handle that kind of issue, you know, build some Lego and maybe forget the pain involved in that. Sorry to hear that, man. Well, thanks for joining the live stream and being here. Hopefully some Lego news and talking Lego builds will be more of a fun diversion from the braces. So now that Lego has all these sets, there is no slowing down to this company's pushing out of product. I mean, you know, tomorrow they release a Willy Wonka set. So now they're definitely appealing to maybe not 100% Lego fans, but fans that definitely are into nostalgia sets, you know, like The Simpsons, or other movie sets that have come out, or TV shows like Friends, movie series that have come out like Home Alone. But man, and that Home Alone house actually is still out. That would be another fun build to have. And now that, you know, that one's almost $300, but you know, when you're looking at what else is out there price-wise, that one doesn't seem so bad. Heck, you could buy 3 Home Alone houses, and they're giant builds. They're like a few thousand pieces each. Or you could buy both these sets behind me versus that one Star Wars Death Star. and it's not really a Death Star, right? It's, as they say, a death slice. So there's not the excitement that could have been. 38 minifigures. Originally, the rumor was 40, and so on. There's just a lot of like subtle letdowns. But at some point, that probably those criticisms fade away. All the Lego ambassadors got the set for free, so they've already put out the reviews, so you can definitely see what you're getting into if you do buy that set as much as possible. And then you decide, are you willing to drop the 1K on a Lego set? It does, that gift with purchase is, if you're a Lego Star Wars fan, it's kind of a fun gift with purchase, but I don't think it merits something of that type of set release. Like, it's just a small TIE fighter. It doesn't look too exciting, and it does come with 3 minifigures. There's a special space in the hangar of the Death Star set that it fits perfectly into, which, you know, because of how small that gift with purchase is, actually it's almost like that gift with purchase or that mini TIE fighter should have just come with a set already. It shouldn't be a gift with purchase. It should just come with a set. With that being said, this mid-size scale Millennium Falcon also will fit in that Death Star hangar. So in terms of display, that would look really cool. So, you know, that could basically represent the scene in the movie where the Millennium Falcon gets what do you call it, tractor beamed or whatever into the Death Star, and, you know, basically captured, and then that's where the rest of the movie kind of takes place, or where Obi-Wan and Darth Vader have a face-off, and all those famous scenes inside the Death Star take place. So, you know, there's basically, since that Death Star is more, or it is totally a display piece. It's like basically a lot of diorama displays, dollhouse look, all of that. However you want to describe it, is, you know, it's basically that way. So when you put the Midi Falcon in there, you know, you pretty much got all your Episode 4 movie scenarios in one Lego set. And what was mentioned before was that all the displays in the Death Star set are actual diorama sets that were released independently, like the Emperor's Throne Room, the Trash Compactor set, and other famous scenes from the original Star Wars movie were already sets that were display sets that were released and sold separately. So if you have all those, you kind of have the Death Star already, if you think about it. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up all those Star Wars diorama sets, compare it to what the actual UCS set is going to be like, and I think you'll be able to see pretty clearly what's going on. Now that I'm saying that, it's kind of disappointing too, because now I'm thinking, you know, if you're going to get a UCS set, you want it to be somewhat unique. And if it's just a mashup of what's already been out there and not totally different, then, you know, you could have just stuck with the display pieces that were out already and save the $1,000 for something else, perhaps. But who knows? I mean, the excitement is definitely going to be there. It's a new Star Wars build. I guess you can't complain too much about that. All right, so this is interesting. So here's the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon coming together. I didn't realize this cone piece was going to fit over the other. Since it's doesn't have like actual pilots in it, I guess that makes sense to have these two combined together like that. And now you have the Midi size. See if I get these pieces oriented correctly. The Midi size section for where, you know, Han Solo will pilot his ship. And then this kind of goes, you know, that iconic look right here. Here's the bigger version, right? That part right there. The pilot's cockpit here. I'm gonna connect these. The orientation on all this is kind of weird. Gotta make sure I put everything on. But that looks cool. Again, what a fun build. You do not, if you're limited, you can just get this part here. It looks great. All right, so 25 likes, awesome. Thanks so much, guys. So lots of Star Wars possibilities to think about, whether you're doing the, putting the, I think this goes here, whether you're getting a UCS set or not. These mid-scale size is the perfect topic to talk about and not spend megabucks on Lego. Wow, how fun is that? This is like a perfect fit right there. That right there, how fun is that part of the build? You just, it has a Technic pull right here and you just snap it together right there and it looks great. This is this build's coming out really nicely, and up close it looks like a decent sized ship, but then when you put it on here with the white Falcon, the Han Solo Falcon, also very cool. I am liking this set. I know I raved about it a lot each day I've done a live stream, but I'm telling you guys, if there's any set you want to get and you don't want to break the bank and you are a Star Wars fan and you're not sure what to get, and you don't necessarily have to get, you're not looking necessarily to get mini figures, this set right here, get this set right here. If you just, or if you're just a casual Lego builder, you like to build Lego on occasion just for the fun of it, get this set. You will not be disappointed. And if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll love it because it's obviously the Millennium Falcon, one of the most famous. This almost is a character unto itself. And then if you really do want a minifigure, they do have those micro fighters like this, you know, $15, sometimes less. And then there's your minifigure that you can put on display next to this later on. Of course, that's Captain Rex. You probably want to find that one that has a, what do you call it? a Han Solo. Can't even think of the name. So yeah. Hey, Brick or Block, welcome. Building the Midi Falcon. Yeah, the Death Star is super disappointing. Not that I was going to spend $1,000 on Lego anyway. I hear you, right? Brick or Block, not going to do it, especially when you add up all the different sets or whatever Lego you can get for that same price range. But, you know, 38 minifigures, a very iconic piece of Star Wars history, a giant Lego set. It's a display set, so it's flat, it's a slice, it's a circle instead of a sphere, so I guess you could put it against the wall pretty easily and have it on display. But I'm gonna wait. I think Lego could probably improve upon that. We'll see. Darren 25, welcome. Brickleblock says, was lucky enough to get that set from a friend for free. Got to take it apart and finish it. Oh, very cool, Brickleblock. So you have the mid-scale size Millennium Falcon. Yeah, it's worth it. I would say, yeah, if you're like, I want to experience the build, I honestly, wholeheartedly, and would say, do it, man. Definitely enjoy the build. Take it apart, and you will have so much fun with this set. Not kidding. This set is top notch. It looks great compared to you know, another play scale size Millennium Falcon. It looks great, and I don't know, just no complaints, man. It is a hit, a palpable hit at that. Okay, let me see here. I'm adding on, I don't know what this is. Is this an antenna piece? So clipping on This is where it's like, oh, you get ahead of the game. And you're like, what am I putting on here? So some kind of antenna piece, but I think I have the orientation wrong. So I'll have to backtrack on that one. Or maybe, did I skip? Maybe I skipped something. I feel like I missed a part. Oh, right there. Go figure, on the ship. The bottom section here. What did I miss? Ah, two little details on the pilot section here. Yeah, this set, man, these actually, I think now when these mid-scale size ships came out, I was like, oh wow, cool, another Star Wars sub theme. Not gonna get any of those. And then I just enjoy the Millennium Falcon as a display piece so much. And the build, any Millennium Falcon, I have the Darth Falcon too. Any build of the Millennium Falcon is so worth it. It's just a fun build, and I don't know, you can't go wrong. That's why I'm thinking the Star Wars, the UCS Millennium Falcon will be just as fun a build. And I think that will be, if it's, if it's this, because of the scale compared to the mid-scale size Millennium Falcon here, it's like 10 times the size. I think it will be 10 times the frustration or 10 times the fun. I don't know. But I'm thinking it's going to be great. This is going to be a great build altogether. Oh, skip. How did I miss this? Oh, I put the pilot section in too soon and have to add in one part here. All right. Well, there we go. Thank you guys for the 25 likes. Brickle says, got to take it apart and finish it. Yep, that's the plan. Seems like an awesome build from what I've seen you do here. Yeah, it is. I am raving about this set. I'm serious. Like, if you don't get any Star Wars sets, and this is all you can afford in terms of wanting to collect Star Wars Lego builds, get these mid-size scale ships and you're good. You will be fine with that. And then later on, if you have a bigger budget, of course, you can invest in the play scale size Millennium Falcons. Those go on sale too, but the UCS ones, that's the extreme. But yeah, I think anyone who enjoys it will. Well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining me for bag 7 and 8. Thank you, Brickle. Hey, Zyman, Z-Man's Lego Creations. Psh, good to see you. Welcome. Darren, Brickle, Brick Empire. Hope you feel better. Melody Bell, your fave. Madeline came back. Lego Timothy, Glitch, Fire, Turkey A, Liam, Star Wars fan. Build the rest. Matt is alive. All you guys, thank you for joining me, and especially at the beginning of the live stream. Good to see all you guys. Thank you, and I will see you guys soon to finish up this set. I'm down to 3 bags left, 9, 10, and 11. Thank you, Brickle. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Have a good one.